Welcome to my channel. I'm SD Kelley. In the crafting YouTube world, Memorial Day and the 4th of July are practically around the corner. So I wanted to go ahead and get started with this Rustic Americana themed decor, and I hope that you'll join me. For this first DIY, we're just painting this word brave in the solid color of white with white Waverly chalk paint and going around the edges with this wood furniture correction marker. And then I'm just taking a dry brush with some more white paint and kind of blending it all in. You could even use your fingers like I do if you want. There really is no right or wrong way to do this, you just do it and see how it turns out. You can go back and forth for a while with the chalk paint and the marker until you get the look that you like. And I'm also kind of just dividing up the letters and scribbling over the edges a little bit, just very jagged and uneven. You can find these wood furniture correction markers at the Dollar Tree in a package of 3 or any brown marker or brown paint. For the second word, brave, we're just drawing out an American flag or something that remotely resembles one. I wanted mine to be kind of waving in the wind. Of course, you can do this just in stripes and some stars or whatever you prefer. Now, I'm using this apple barrel craft paint, and I bought some Patriotic colors because I plan on using most of it for my Rustic Americana decor. Usually I mix and match my paints or add food coloring to make the colors I want, but I decided to go ahead and splurge the whole 50 cents on each of these bottles, which cost me $1.50 at Walmart. So anyway, I had to kind of just pat the paint on there more than brush it on there, because whatever finishes on this word doesn't really take paint too well. I took a fine point marker with the intention of just dividing up the letters a little bit, but that didn't go so well. As you can see, it scratched off some of the paint. So I just went with it and scratched off some more paint deliberately, and I even used my fingernail at some point to scratch some of the paint off and just distressed it. I just went with it like it was meant to be. And I just happened to have some silver star stickers that I could put on there to match the surface that was exposed. For this next DIY, you'll want to pick up one of these wooden tags that you can get in the craft section at Walmart. And also pick up some of these furniture correction markers that you can get at Dollar Tree, or any brown marker that's very fluid and kind of just bleeds into the wood well will work perfectly. These markers are great for darkening up the edges of any craft project that you're working on that's made of wood. And now I'm just putting some letters that read out USA that are in these white foam stickers. These letters were looking just a little too perfect, so I had to take some of this wood furniture correction marker on a brush, and then that wasn't good enough, so I just went in with the marker itself and just added some distress marks around this part and around the edges to make it look like the paint could have been chipping off. Speaking of which, I wonder what happened to that footage of me painting the edges of this tag white with the Waverly chalk paint. Oh well, I don't know, but anyway, that's what I did. For this next DIY, you can find these wooden stars in a package of 5 in the craft section at Walmart. And you can also get wooden letters out Dollar Tree or Walmart that would fit perfectly on these stars. I'm just going around the edges with this marker and just letting the ink from the marker go wherever it will. And to add to the rustic look of the stars, you can also go around the stars with this marker, or you could pick similar colors of marker to go around the stars. a bag of a variety of small stars of different sizes, and they're made of wood, and I got them from Joann. I think the bag was a little less than $5, but hey, you get like a lifetime supply of them. Anyway, I'm just going over with a colored marker of the same color as the paint, but different shade. These 2 stars I've made by layering 2 wooden stars that I got in the package from Joann over these other 2 stars that came in the package from Walmart, and then I just glued some twine around the edges. I just used hot glue to put all this together. It worked very well. I was just moving right along, and then this happened. Oh my god. I felt so stupid. I don't know. I'm usually smarter than this. I don't know what's the matter with me today. Thank goodness I didn't put a lot of hot glue back here, because I have to switch these around and put them on the opposite sides, and I still want it to look nice even in the back. I think you'll find this DIY rather easy, and maybe even one you could do with your kids or grandkids. I'm just taking some star stickers. I don't remember where I got these, maybe a craft store, maybe Dollar Tree, but I'm taking star stickers, 2 of which are the same size, and putting them back to back around this wire that I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm just creating a garland that I could use for different things, maybe put them in some floral arrangements or wrap them around something. And it's a very festive and patriotic way to celebrate the upcoming holidays. For this next DIY, I'm just going to take some of these stars. I've weeded out all the yellow ones, and I'm putting them back in the bag. I can use those for maybe a baby themed project in the future. Anyway, I'm using the silver ones, and I'm going to create a faux metal look. I'm going to spray paint them silver, which I just did, and you can spray paint these or use craft paint that's silver. If you do choose to spray paint them, you want to not spray them directly or they'll just blow away. And now I'm just stippling over these with some black paint and then some silver paint. And I did this fake galvanized metal look before on some plastic, and I'll put a link to that video of how this works. And anyway, these are going to look like little metal stars when I'm done. By going back and forth between the black and the metallic silver paint, which also lifts some of the original paint off, exposing the silver paint, and some of the original silver paper on the stars, gives us all a hammered look. For these very light gray stars, I'm just taking a Sharpie. This one's out of ink actually, but that's fine. I just need it for the texture. And then I'm going over it with a wood furniture correction marker and just creating this faux wood star. I'm going around the edges as well. With this star, I'm just going around the edges, and I'm just going to go in a little bit and kind of scribble on it around the edges and throughout the star to make it look like the paint's chipping off. And this is what we did earlier with the wooden stars. So I'm just taking some red craft paint and just putting it on there however, and then I'm going around whichever areas weren't covered with this marker to make it look like that some bright red paint had been chipping off of the star. And I'm going to do this with the blue craft paint as well. I didn't color it with the marker first because I really wanted these colors to stand out. With these faux metal stars, you can take a metallic marker or paint and just go around the edges to complete the look. This is probably another project you could do with kids or grandkids, and that is just to try different things with these stars to see if you get something you like. And you can even layer them. They come in different sizes, so if you layer them, they look great, and you can do all kinds of things with them now for the patriotic holidays. Here we're going to be making a bow, a patriotic bow, and I did a bow tutorial a couple of weeks ago, and I'll put a link to that video, but instead of string, I'm using wire in this one. I'm guessing I'm using about 2 feet of wire, and I just looped it through the 2 buttonholes that I had made in the wooden star. And I'm just going back and forth with the ribbon, similar to what I did with the ones in that tutorial with the string. And I'm just twisting the wire around each section as I go. I had prepared the ribbons beforehand, and I wanted these ribbons to have 5 loops in them to kind of go with the star that's in them. I had also cut slits through the ribbon where I wanted to place them across the wire so it could go through this project rather quickly and have the size of everything that I want it to be. I was just really glad also to be using up the scrap ribbon that was left over from Valentine's Day. So now we're just going to place the sticker that we just made and put it over this wooden button star. This next DIY is really one of my favorite. I mean, who doesn't love painting mason jars? I applied 2 coats of this white Waverly chalk paint. These are some really adorable mini mason jars that Dollar Tree used to carry in my area. I haven't seen them in a while, but they come 2 in a pack, and they fit nicely in this basket. I wove some yarn around the front of it, and to weave yarn around these baskets or any kind of string, you want it to go in a back and forth. You can't go round and round, or the yarn or string or whatever you use won't alternate. They won't go under, over, under, over. They'll go under, over, and then when they repeat going around, they'll go under, over again. It won't create a weaving pattern. So whatever you do when you're weaving around these baskets, you want to go back and forth. You want to find a point where you go back and forth. And here's one that I went all the way around, and I picked a point right back here, and every time I went to here, I went back the other way, and then back the other way again, so that it created an over-under pattern that alternated around the bars of this basket. I hope that made sense. Anyway, that one I plan on using for a vertical succulent plant holder, I hope, in the near future. With these mini mason jars, I'm just painting them all light, neutral, maybe even boring colors to some people. Anyway, that's what I want, are boring colors. Actually, not boring if you know how to work them, but anyway, I'm just going with colors that I can use all year round, and I can change out the theme with the changing holidays and seasons. I'm using a variety of colors that I had mixed for previous projects. This one I just mixed recently by adding some white Waverly chalk paint in this small jar and adding some black food coloring, just a drop, and I've got this beautiful light gray color. I like to keep these container bottles that you can get in the kids craft section at Dollar Tree because they have an airtight quality to them, and I've been able to preserve paints for quite a long time in them. Now here I'm just going over all the bottles with some glossy Mod Podge, and I'm doing this before I do the distress work because when I do the distress work I don't want to take off any of the first layers of paint. After the Mod Podge dries, you can go in sideways with the paintbrush and just almost between a wet and dry brush apply some to the elevated areas to create a distressed look, and then just add some streaks here and there away from the elevated areas. Black, brown, dark gray, those kind of colors work really good for distressing these masons. These I won't be putting Mod Podge over where the distress marks are, but I may spray it with some Krylon Clear matte adhesive type spray just to hold the distress marks on there. But I wanted the distress marks to look a bit dull and chalky next to the glossy background paint. I put a piece of scrap magnet that I had cut out on the bottom of the jar, and it would work along with the glue to help hold the lid on so that I can have some height with these lids. And I really have no other place to put those lids, and plus they give them some height in the jars. So I really like the way that this looks, and I'm just going around with a marker and distressing the basket. And then if I got a little too carried away, I'm just taking some alcohol and rubbing it with a Q-tip. This next DIY is one of my favorites, and I'm just taking some wooden craft sticks. I took 2 of them and I cut them in half and placed them going in opposite directions of each other, and I'm going to paint each one. This third craft stick will be the stick that holds the sign together. For this, it's a good idea to go ahead and draw out what you want on there with a pencil, and even if you have to erase it some, that's great. It just adds up to the overall rustic look of the sign. I'm using ivory chalk paint instead of white to make it look a little bit more aged and not so just bright and in your face, because I want the sign to look antique when I'm done. You can easily distress your paint job by just going over it some with the fine grit sandpaper and going around the edges of these wood pieces. what do you think? Is this cute or what? But I feel like it's still missing something. Ah yes, I'm going to use some brown wax by Waverly, and I'm just going to go around the edges and stuff and make this dirty. I mean, I really want this sign to look like it could be from 1776. I made this cute rustic farmhouse candle holder around Valentine's Day, and I like the fact that it's got this metal galvanized heart that I had taken off of a Valentine's Day sign from Dollar Tree. The reason why I like it so much is because I can change the look by putting magnets on it. It's never a bad idea to take a pencil and just kind of draw a basic outline of where you want your design to go before you paint it. Even if you don't follow the pencil lines exactly, it's good to have a general idea of what you want to do. Though I will admit that I do just wing things sometimes and make it up as I go because it's fun. To see more of my DIY videos, take a second to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified every time that I upload something new. Also, you can follow me and tag me with related content on Instagram. My profile name there is SaggyCat, after a sweet cat named Sagittarius. Walmart has these buckets in the office section for 88 cents. And they're metal. Look at that. A magnet sticks right to it, which is perfect. And also in the pretty section at Walmart, they also have a lot of buckets. I think they're metal. They look like they're about the same. And there's a variety of colors. Anyway, I'm taking a silver Sharpie and I'm just distressing this bucket. I'm just going over the silver with some of the black just to create some color variation. And then, of course, I felt like, oh my gosh, I got too carried away. So I'm just removing it simply with some rubbing alcohol on a cotton ball. It's so nice when crafting has a bit of an undo switch. But this part doesn't because I'm using sandpaper. I figured that would be a great way to distress this bucket to actually add real distress marks. I want this bucket to kind of look like I had found it after it had been washed up on the beach after being out in the ocean for a few days. Not something that I just picked up at Walmart real quick. Check out these lanterns, aren't they cute? I got these from Dollar Tree. They were like a silvery black, but I had painted them white with some white chalk paint, put some Mod Podge over them. I just think these lanterns add a nice touch to the overall Rustic Americana theme. Once again, I am SD Kelley, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and give it a big thumbs up if you did. Also, I hope you will subscribe to my channel because I have many more great ideas to share with you. If you're interested in following me on social media or contacting me, I'll put those links in the description below. I thank you for watching, and bye for now.